morning. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Lewisburg Area Board of School Directors. If you could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you all for being here tonight. I have just a few announcements. The holdover members of the board met for about 10 minutes in executive session just to discuss how the process goes tonight after presumably most of you will have left. So with that, we just have to see if we have any citizens' comments to the board on agenda items. Any from the floor? All right. Some of our favorite activities include recognizing students and our staff for all the great things that they do. So I'm really happy to see such a big turnout of athletes tonight. Welcome, and your parents. And so I think we'll hand it over to Mr. Long, who I saw. There he is.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the school board, administrators, and members of the Lewisburg community. I am appreciative of the fact that we get to recognize some of our hardworking student athletes and coaches on their accomplishments from the fall season. Thank you for allowing us this time at this meeting. I hope this becomes something that we are able to celebrate after each sports season in the future. We'll start with boys cross country. The boys cross country team finished the season at 17-0, winning the Pennsylvania Heartland Athletic Conference Division Championship. They followed up that performance with a strong showing at the District 4 AA Championships, finishing in second place, qualifying them as a team for the state competition. Also, Jonathan Hess also won the district championship in that race at Bloomsburg University. Then at the state championships in Hershey, the team placed fifth. Additionally, Jonathan placed fifth overall. So at this time, I present to you head coach Ron Hess and the 2023 Lewisburg boys cross country team.
Why don't you guys just head up there so we can kind of put a name to a face?
You stand right in front of us. It's okay.
Perfect. I want to start by thanking you guys for recognizing our team, and I as a coach acknowledge that the people in this room are extremely important to what we do and to their level of achievement. And without the support of a community, the success that we have, we probably wouldn't get there the same way. So each of the students has extremely supportive parents, and all of the practices, all of the picking of them up, all the way down to having busing, having facilities so I recognize that it's a community deal, that this level of success, it doesn't happen by accident. So I wanted to start with some stats. Some of them may maybe double what Mr. Long said, but basically this year, this team went undefeated in dual meet matches and regular season matches. And so that's 17-0. And actually this team completed the 6th straight undefeated season for our team. So I believe our winning streak is just over maybe 100 consecutive wins, 6 seasons straight. So for this, I guess this would be the 3rd set of seniors that will have gone through the program without ever having a loss. And so that's really an ode to the effort that this group has put forward over and over and over. Mr. Long mentioned that we finished 5th at states, but the interesting thing is we were ranked 9th. So going into it, we were ranked 9th, and I looked at the projections and kind of said to them and myself, if we have an absolutely great day, we could be as high as 5th. And so when they finished 5th, it was an amazing thing because they met that goal. And what it really meant is they did it at a time where it really counted. And if any of you know about state competition, what you tend to see there is a lot of people are happy to make it there. And often performances are hard. It's hard to kind of hit your goals at that meet just because it's such a big deal. Everybody's so good that's there. There's a lot of nerves and stuff. So for them to come in and absolutely reach the highest point that I felt we could if we had a great day was such an impressive feat. So I was extremely proud of them for that. The team consisted of, and this is kind of the order in terms of where they finished at states, Jonathan Hess. So if you guys would just maybe turn and wave to the board if you're here. A couple of our guys weren't here, but just so people can put a name to a face. So Jonathan Hess and Kieran Murray, unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it tonight. Ben Bailey, same thing. Liam Shabahang and Brady Ryder, Paul Tranquillo, and Ian Kavanaugh, and Eli Callbearer. And also, as mentioned by Mr. Long, Jonathan Hess medaled individually with a 5th place finish. And, oh, I missed Luca. I'm sorry, Luca Kuhn. My apologies. And so Jonathan finished 5th place. I think he was ranked going into the meet about 10th. So he also had an excellent day and was the top non-senior in the race. So potentially that means good things for next year. You can never know what a year will bring, but it means potentially that he will be one of the top ranked seniors going in next year. And also he was named All-State for those efforts. So that's exciting because eventually his picture will go up on the wall, as All-State athletes do. Outside of just the statistics, what I would say about this group, they are just an awesome group of young men. And they were a joy to work with. You don't get to be 5th in the state through chance. You cannot do that just through talent, although they are talented. It comes with a high level of work ethic. It comes with kind of being able to just defer. You work hard without knowing what the reward is. And a lot of these guys, the journey began in June. So that's a long time to really put it there and build up to a November race. So I'm super proud of them. Their attitudes were awesome, and they were team players to the end. And my apologies, I forgot to mention, I'm Ron Hessen, and so my wife is the volunteer assistant for our team, Jessica Hess. I'm not sure if I know she was trying to make it. I'm not sure she made it yet, but so that's our squad. And we have one of our captains here to say a few words to you guys. You guys want to have maybe that?
My name is Brady Ryder, and I'm a co-captain of this cross-country team. As previously stated, our team in a 5th place finish at states, and we owe a lot of the credit for our performances to Coach Hess. He loves to emphasize the idea that hard work beats talent when talent feels to work hard. On behalf of the team, I'd like to thank the board and administration for their support and for giving my team the ability to compete this year. That's it. Thank you.
The next team that we'll recognize tonight is the girls cross country team. They finished the season with a record of 16-1 in dual meets. At the District 4 AA Championship, they had a fantastic race, finishing 2nd place overall, qualifying them as a team also for the state competition. Bailey Espinoza won the district championship at that race at Lewisburg also. Then at the state championships in Hershey, the team placed 9th, and Bailey brought home a gold medal back to Lewisburg by winning the AA race at Hershey. So right now I present to you head coach Mike Espinoza and those members of the 2023 Lewisburg girls cross country team that are here.
There we go. Thank you, Mr. Long, and thank you everyone for having us here, for inviting us here this evening. unsurprisingly, I'll have quite a bit in common to say with what Coach Hess mentioned, but I'll try to have enough of my own spin on that as well. I certainly do want to thank everybody who is here in this room and everybody who may be watching this whenever they watch it or wherever they watch it, because this is truly a community activity that we do. And let's face it, I mean, one of the very first things that we spend some time focusing on are obeying the rules of the road, because we're out there doing our sport on the roads where you live and where you drive. So hopefully you do see us out there. Hopefully we're doing everything right, because I know they're very, very good runners, very good athletes, and they're very good at following instructions. So as much as that this is a large community-based success for Lewisburg, this also goes all the way down to, it's going to sound crazy, but I think it goes all the way down to the elementary school levels and building an environment and a culture of positivity all the way up. Numbers in women's athletics are dropping, across the country, but numbers of participation in Lewisburg sports seem to be strong. And clearly we're having a lot of success in women's programs here. It's evidenced tonight by the field hockey team joining us as well. And without that type of positivity, that culture of building each other up, I don't know that all of these athletes would have made the choice to continue with it all the way through high school. And certainly for all the support that we have for our cross-country program, I'm grateful that they chose our sport, because they had other choices, other athletic endeavors they could have pursued as well. So thank you, athletes, for that. If you missed out on any of the coverage that we were graciously, beneficiaries of this fall season, we had a lot of magic at the end of our season. After running into some injuries and some speed bumps along the way. On paper, we were not supposed to have been a team that qualified for states. We certainly deserved that. And that's another conversation for another time. I would love for a third team to qualify out of District 4, but regardless, we were coming in perhaps not as a favorite to advance. But what this squad was able to do was to believe in themselves in a way that goes beyond what I as a coach can try to instill in them. I think we know this so much as parents, as educators in the community, as supporters of education, that we can want so much for them to want what we want, but ultimately it comes down to what they want. And this group here went for it and showed exactly how much they wanted to express their fitness and their affection for each other and our sport and our program. Certainly, as proud as I've ever been as a coach to take this team to states. At the state meet, very similar to Coach Hess, there were a number of scenarios that we ran, and I thought that if we put it all together, we could finish as high as 9th place. And boy, did they ever put it together that day for a 9th place team finish. It was extremely exciting for us because, as Coach mentioned, there's a lot of people who are just happy to be there. But we are part of a program, part of a legacy. This is our 3rd year in a row having finished as a top 10 program at the state level. And it's them. It's their drive to do that and to accomplish that. Separately, our top runner, Bailey Espinosa, had a very successful season and capped it off with a race at the state meet that I think showcased much of what would have been a highlight for all the rest of our team as well. Going out and running her race to the best of her capabilities, regardless of what others around her may have been doing. And her race on that day happened to set her apart from everybody else. And it was well-deserved, the same way that her teammates' races were their very own and helped them to set themselves apart from the rest of the state with that another top 10 finish. So I could not be more proud of the group that we have right here. I'll present to you by their names in the order that they're standing right here. You can do the nice twirl and the homecoming wave as well if you'd like. Yeah, Bailey Espinosa, Alana Jacob, Maya Sack, Laura Tranquillo, Nia Young, Lauren Schwartz, Jenna Binney, and Theo Wilkinson. So we thank you so much for your support, and we'll take a moment here and we'll have the team return to their seats, and we'll invite Bailey to come up and say a few words, followed by Captain Nia after that. So thank you.
Okay, hi. So, earning a state championship title is something that I've worked very hard to achieve, and it is also something that I'm so proud to share with this school, and this school is also, they've cared for me and encouraged me throughout my entire career. I would like to thank the school board, our administrators, and our community for constantly lifting me up with unconditional love and support. Most importantly, I would like to thank my family, my teammates, and my coaches for always believing in me, challenging me, and pushing me to run towards my dreams. Thank you all again so much for everything.
Hi, my name is Nia. I'm one of the captains of the team this year, along with senior Jenna Binney and junior Alana Jacob. On behalf of myself and my whole team, I would like to give a huge thanks to the school board, to administrators, and to our community for supporting our team. It's really the collective support that allows this program to be truly great, and it's a program that we're all really lucky and very grateful to have had a part in. Together, we were able to accomplish our goals of qualifying for the state championship meet, and at that meet finishing as a top 10 team in the state. This program is not only great for the performances and the growth that it nurtures, but also for the community and the amazing culture. Nowhere else are you going to find such a unique and positive group of runners, karaoke singers, chocolate milk fans, and Christmas poets. Thank you to everyone who made it possible. Thank you to our families, our friends, our teachers, our coaches, and to many other supporters for dedicating time and energy to supporting us throughout the fall. Thank you.
Okay, the third and final team is the field hockey team. Field hockey this year finished the year with an overall record of 21-2. They shared the title of the PHAC Division I field hockey with Selinsgrove, who was their only regular season loss. They went into postseason on a winning streak and continued that momentum to the District 4 Class A Field Hockey Championship, winning first place. In the PIAA state competition, they advanced to the state semifinal game against Lackawanna Trail on a cold night in Wilkes-Barre High School. But that was a hard-fought way to get there. So at this time, head coach Tanya Berge is ill today, so she could not make it tonight. So I present assistant coach Haley Stanko and the members of the team that are here tonight to come up and say a few words.
All right, I'll introduce them first. So we have 3 senior captains here. So we've got Ryan Browse, Emma Trupp, and Whitney Berge. And then we also have Lauren Hetherington and Tia Berge. So Tanya wrote this, and I'll read it for you guys. It's real quick. In the past 2 years, we've been able to make back-to-back state runs and earn 2 district titles. Although the girls made it look easy, I can assure you that it's not, especially living in a state that has some of the best field hockey in the country. Our schedule is not an easy one, with teams like Selinsgrove, State College, Wyoming Seminary, and Lake Lehman, to name a few. These teams have historically had and continue to have consistently competitive programs and stellar coaching. All of them have coaches that stuck with the program for many years and dedicated their lives to bettering their athletes and building their programs. Selinsgrove has had a strong team led by a coach that was with the program for 34 years and just recently stepped down but continues to volunteer. Field hockey is a huge part of their community. People get excited for their hockey season, and young girls are eager to join their team because the program has built a reputation of success. Along with the coaching and community support, these programs also have some of the best facilities to practice and compete. Having the ability to at least practice on turf is a key advantage in today's hockey world. It's not just a preference, it's a whole different game. One of the main passing skills in today's game that is used on turf, we can't practice because you can't perform it on grass. And that's just one of the many reasons for needed turf time. We also want to be able to prepare our athletes to compete at the next level, and all collegiate programs play on turf fields with a much faster pace than the grass game. So just to say all that, our hope is that we can emulate these successful programs and generate more community support and inspire the younger generations to be excited to join our program. We're asking for your continued support, and thank you for recognizing the girls' efforts this year and our team's success and allowing me to speak tonight on behalf of our team. Thanks. And Whitney's going to say a few words too, but you guys can sit down and Whitney come up.
Hi, my name is Whitney Berge, and I was a senior captain on our team this past season.
Field hockey has been a huge part of my life and a passion of mine ever since my mom introduced me to it at a young age. It has given me some good memories that I will forever cherish and have. It has taught me so many things, not just about field hockey, but about life. There were ups and downs along the way, but I've learned how to deal with the challenges and to remain humble in the high moments. I am forever thankful for the experience and will take all of the lessons and joys with me as I begin my next journey in my life and continue to play hockey at Marywood University. I am grateful for our hockey program, the coaches, and what the sport has done for me personally, and what I know it will do for the underclassmen returning next year. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your time tonight. We're really appreciative of it.
And can I just mention, I think it needs a special shout out, it's the field hockey team this year. This was correct me if I'm wrong, your last appearance in the semifinals was 40 years ago was the last time that Lewisburg, so kudos to these young ladies.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time. And for those of you who spoke, thank you for preparing remarks. They were all very well done. At this time, you don't have to stay. So there we go. At this time, it's the process to do a temporary president and then do all of the rest of the process, reform the board. So among the 4 holdover members, we just need someone to nominate to be the president pro tempore.
I nominate Mary Ann Stanton.
I'll take a motion to close nominations.
So move. Can I move that?
Yes, you
Yes,
can.
okay.
Yeah.
So moved.
And then we need a second on your motion. Oh, sorry, you did the motion?
Yeah.
You moved,
Oh,
you
I
second, you
second.
seconded, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I don't even know if I got to vote on that one, sorry.
No.
That was an automatic aye. All right, I should have asked you, did you accept that nomination?
Got it.
Cool, all right, we swap.
Yep.
Mr. Heath.
Okay. The first thing that needs to happen is that Mrs. Young will be reading the certificates of election for the newly elected and re-elected board members.
Actually, I'll fall on that grenade.
Or
Thank you.
Dr. Fairchild.
Yes, thank you. The Union County Board of Elections of Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, certification of election, November 7th, 2023. We, the undersigned members of the County Board of Elections of said county, hereby certify that after tabulating the votes cast at the municipal election held on the 7th day of November 2023 in said county, it is accepted that Jordan W. Fetzer, Ashley Ann Grant, Corey Heath, Aaron Jablonski, and Justin M. Matus are duly elected to the office of school director for the Lewisburg Area School District. Signed by David S. Hassenplug, Chairman, William Allred Jr., and John R. Showers, and attested by Gregory A. Catherman, Clerk.
Do we know how to do this?
Yeah, we're ready for the oath.
Should we do it out there? Or do
Oh,
it
that
here?
would be great.
Okay. All right, actually, if the new board members and re-elected board members could join me out front.
Oh. She's so.
I know. Okay, we're going to take the oath of office. Raise your right hand and repeat after me, please.
I do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Okay, Board Secretary, there's the list of qualified members.
All right, so now the Board of School Directors qualified members as of December 4th, 2023, listed below: Ms. Heather Hanos, holdover; Mrs. Kristen Kraus, holdover; Ms. Jamie Lyons, holdover; Ms. Mary Ann Stanton, holdover; Mr. Jordan Fetzer, Dr. Ashley Grant, Mr. Corey Heath, Dr. Aaron Jablonski, and Dr. Justin Matus.
Okay, now we're ready to elect a board president. So the floor is open to nominations.
I liked Dr. Aaron Jablonski, or I
like her too.
I shouldn't say elect, that's the wrong word. I nominate, I'm sorry, I nominate.
Do we have a second?
No seconds.
Oh, right, don't need that. Are there any other nominations?
I nominate Corey Heath.
Okay, are there any more nominations? All right, do we have a motion to close the nominations?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Now we have the ballots, which is your blue one. And you write the order in which, correct? Because you have to put them both down, or do you just put one down? Just the one.
Put down
Okay.
who you're voting for and write your name and pass them around to me, and I'll read them out loud.
Okay.
Are there any more ballots outstanding? Okay. Shuffle them up here. All
I
right.
really thought there was one missing.
Vote cast for Aaron Jablonski by Aaron Jablonski. Vote for Aaron Jablonski by Justin Matus. Vote for Corey Heath, Jamie Lyons. Vote for Aaron Jablonski, Ashley Grant. Vote for Aaron Jablonski. Is that you, Marianne?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, sorry. A vote for Aaron Jablonski, Corey Heath. Vote for Aaron Jablonski, Heather Hanos. And a vote for Corey Heath, Jordan Fetzer. And a vote for Aaron Jablonski, Kristen Kraus. So I believe, if my math is correct, it is 7-2 in favor of Dr. Aaron Jablonski as the new board president.
And I think I get to
Yeah,
trade
we swapped.
seats now.
See ya.
Thank you very much.
All right, so at this time, we elect the vice president. So I will take any nominations.
I
Nominate
nom-
Corey
Heath. That's what I was gonna say, so.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations for vice president? All right, so we need a motion to close.
I so move.
Okay, and we need a second?
Second.
Thank you. And so please write your, we don't even need to cast ballots.
No, technically, someone could make a motion to
To
direct the
rec-
secretary to cast the ballot in the name of Mr. Corey Heath for vice president.
What you just said, I do.
Okay.
Thank you. You need a second for that as well?
Yes.
We also need to, do we need to all in favor aye? Because that's yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Corey.
Congratulations.
I do want to at this time personally thank Corey, I really enjoy working together, and you help cover a lot, so I'm very appreciative. We do not need to change the treasurer. Everything is all set, so you just have pink and yellow note sheets now beside your table. If we can move on. All right. So we have to move to adopt the resolution setting the regular board meeting dates. If you look in your handouts that were provided, we're looking at the green sheet. And so take a look at those, and we'll have to plan accordingly. So we just need to adopt that these are going to be our meeting times.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Stanton.
Second.
Second by Ms. Hanos. Any discussion? You'll note there's just one meeting in July in the second week. Sometimes that's been the third week, so just note that one. And there's always just the one meeting in November and December. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The next item is to designate the general newspapers of general circulation. This is something we do every year because we have to advertise publicly for meetings and things like that. So we just need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Kraus.
Second.
Second by Ms. Lyons. Any discussion? Okay, but this we actually spend money on, so we have to do roll call.
Okay. Mr. Fetzer?
Yes.
Dr. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Hanos?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Dr. Jablonski?
Yes.
Mrs. Kraus?
Yes.
Ms. Lyons?
Yes.
Dr. Mattis?
Yes.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, so the next thing is the motion to approve us, the president, treasurer, and secretary as signatories to the general fund. So just need a motion to that.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Stanton,
Second.
second by Dr. Grant. There's nothing to discuss here. This is standard. So all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, thank you. The next item, Dr. Fairchild.
Yes, we would ask that you approve the Sterling Act credit for 2022. This evening, we're required by law to report the wages of those who live in our district but happen to work in the city of Philadelphia as required by the Sterling Act. So we would ask that you approve that this evening so that Mrs. Moser can sign it and we can return it to the folks at PDE as required.
Okay, need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Kraus,
Second.
second by Ms. Hanos. All in, there's no, this is a thing, it's required. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And solicitor services. This is to continue with our solicitors.
Yep, with
So-
Finelli Willett, and their rates have remained the same this year as last year.
And from all accounts, it sounds like we've had very good service. So we just need a motion to this effect.
So moved.
All right, moved by Ms. Hanos, second by Mr. Fetzer. Any discussion? I'm very happy the rates have stayed the same and the service has been so good. So this will do, Paula.
Dr. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Hanos?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Dr. Jablonski?
Yes.
Mrs. Kraus?
Yes.
Ms. Lyons?
Yes.
Dr. Mattis?
Yes.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Fetzer?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Do you want to do that right now?
I do.
Okay, at this time, we will take a brief break for an executive session. We have a couple of information items that the new board members would not have had an opportunity to learn about before being asked to vote this evening. So we'll take a quick break.
Yes.
All right, thank you everyone for giving us a minute. The next item on our, or the item, first item here for board action, new business, is the Bucknell University Facility Use Agreement for graduation. So we need a motion to approve. Paula, do you want to, for the new folks, maybe tell them why we chose to use Bucknell again?
Sorry about that. I
So
just
no
was
problem.
coming back in. So basically, we had given a presentation at a previous board meeting and just talked about some of the lack of flexibility with the graduation requirements. So we were looking at expanding senior opportunity.
No, this one's just about the,
Bucknell
why we do it at
site.
Bucknell.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
No,
couldn't
no
hear,
worries.
and then I was just, and I wasn't expecting to be asked. Sorry about that. I know.
Yeah, you're right on
I
it.
can tell you about that.
Throw out another one.
I'm sorry. So we just have, for the past 3 years now, been contracting with Bucknell to use Soika for graduation. It has been phenomenal. You
Most
know, our kids
important,
get
the
to be able to have
tickets.
like
Yeah,
at least 12 guests there. Everybody can see. It's a good thing.
okay, thank you.
Sorry about that.
No, no worries. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but just, for folks who wanted to know. All right, so I'll take a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Hanos,
Second.
second by Ms. Stanton. Any discussion?
Is this something that, since this is several years that we've held it at Bucknell, is it something we can revisit to possibly see if Bucknell will gift this to us instead of renting it to us?
We do and often ask that.
When was the last time we asked about this?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was in the recent past, and they are currently reviewing not only this, but other requests as well, currently under review.
Can we hold off then? Can we table this until we hear back?
I would recommend that we approve it so we get on the schedule, and then hopefully we'll have a good result and we won't have to pay a bill.
Since we have a fallback to our own building, I would personally make a motion to table it until we hear back, but I can't imagine there's too many people knocking down the door for that day in June, but I could be wrong. But like I said, even if that would be booked, we could still at least have a fallback for our own gym.
I don't know how soon they'll be getting back to us.
What?
Can I?
Yeah.
Didn't we speak about price like 2 years ago? And it
We
was like
did.
very
Here's my
similar.
concern. I have people emailing now about wanting to know about plane tickets for family and grandparents and things like that. So just based on the fact that we've done this before, I understand what you are saying, but like at this point, it makes me very nervous to be kicking that can down the road to approve.
I guess I would just, I mean, I completely agree and understand that. I've been asked many times, but I guess if we keep paying it, why would Bucknell, I mean, out of good faith, but if we hold back on it, it might make them say, oh, maybe we can do this for them. So I guess in my mind, if we're continuing to pay it, then it doesn't really send them the gesture that we're serious about our request.
And I will say it does require a lot of work from their maintenance and their video tech and things that they do. Not that I am saying that I would love for them to be able to gift different things, but I am sure that this is one that they probably are going to want to discuss about. So I would really want to be cognizant and not hold parents and our kids and their planning in limbo while we wait. So
I think the other thing is it's not free to have it, because I do believe right before I was on the board, this discussion came up and it was priced out and it was like inconsequential, the difference between having it here and having it there because of the cost. Because I do think, I know even for myself, I don't know why, but wouldn't think that it would cost the same price to have it in our own building. And I think it was like between risers and chairs and the extra custodians and all that.
Over the floor.
So I would be concerned to table in the fact that what we would have to pay, we have the fallback of our building, but we would have to pay, and we would be significantly diminishing tickets on the graduate.
at least by half,
Could have.
at least by half.
So I would be concerned with that.
That
Cabling.
actually did come up, because I asked that question, whatever
Yeah.
year it was,
Mhm.
and it was, so we don't save any money by doing it here, but we actually get greater wear and tear on the gym floor and the facilities and those things. And cost-wise, we wind up spending the money to rent the bleachers and the risers and the chairs and whatever else that they
Covering.
So from a fiscal standpoint, we don't gain anything by doing it here.
I also think from sort of a community and ties to the building standpoint, we capture that with the villager signs. The villager that provides the signs and the big picture that we do right on the lawn. It just feels like, even though we're not graduating the kids physically here, there's a lot going on and pictures and they're standing by their signs and they know this is their place, their home, so.
Any further discussion? We have a motion in a second, yes? Okay. All right.
Okay. Ms. Haynos?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Dr. Jablonski?
Yes.
Mrs. Kraus?
Yes.
Ms. Lyons?
Yes.
Dr. Mattis?
Yes.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Fetzer?
Yes.
Dr. Grant?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, our next item is our policies for first reading. Just for newer folks, we do first reading, and then when it's second reading, it'll be on the consent agenda at a future board meeting. So Mrs. Moser, if you just want to say something about.
I do. This is a rather lengthy list
Yeah.
for our committee. We were busy in the month of November, and that's a good thing. We started down through our policy manual, looking in some sections for some of our oldest ones where language simply needed updates. And it was a good work session. We bring forward to you the ones you see listed here: independent study, current events, human development, school-sponsored student organizations, adult education, migrant students, and 1AR to clarify our purchasing procedures.
All right, I'll take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Kraus,
Second.
second by Dr. Grant. Any discussion? All right,
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Dr. Jablonski?
yes.
Mrs. Kraus?
Yes.
Ms. Lyons?
Yes.
Dr. Mattis?
Yes.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Fetzer?
Yes.
Dr. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Haynos?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Our next item is the expulsion of student 2023-8. Need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Kraus,
Second.
second by Dr. Matus. And there will be no discussion?
Dr. Jablonski?
Yes.
Mrs. Kraus? Yes. Ms. Lyons?
Yes.
Dr. Matus?
Yes.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Fetzer?
Yes.
Dr. Grant?
Abstain.
Ms. Haynos?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, if you'd like to take us through our first informational item there about Title IX Council.
Sure. We recently had a training on Title IX for our admin staff. Title IX focuses on sexual harassment. It's addressed in policy 103 and 104. But we wanted we need to have some training as part of that, Title IX, and we want to know the process of going through an event when it happens. So it's just this particular law firm, Christina Gallagher was our trainer. She focuses on this primarily. Her every day is Title IX at schools, and so she's a great advocate or a great resource for us for training, as well as us to reach out for consulting. And I want to use her to look at our policy, look at our procedures around Title IX, so that we're in compliance as a district.
Anybody have any questions? Is this not something where we follow policy directly from PSBA, or is there something, is it like the selections that we make and then the processes?
Yeah, it's just more of the procedures that we want to look at. We've made a flow chart to kind of outline it. It's very lengthy procedures that we follow. There's a lengthy flow chart that we have to go through, and she's walked through many of these cases at districts in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Just having her as a resource is the benefit here. Limited scope, just specifically for Title IX.
All right, thank you.
And our current council does not have experience.
Patrick does, but also said this would be a good resource to us and had no problem that we would follow in this direction. She gave an excellent overview and training to all of us as administrators. And so we feel very confident that if we need to pick up the phone or consult, that this would be a great resource for us.
Thank you.
All right, new curriculum pilots.
Yeah, we've got a couple, if you have it on your iPads there. The first one there is Bridges in Mathematics. This is our current math resource. We currently use 2nd edition. This is 3rd edition. There's been some updates to that. We wanted to just check that out before we look at doing any kind of purchasing. So we have a kit for each grade level, K to 5. On the bulleted points there, some of those changes. Really just a preview for ourselves to be able to see that. And it's no cost to the district. We can return it at the end of the school year. That's one. The other one is Get More Math. At the middle school, this is a program that our math teachers are using. This is an online program focusing on retention. So they're getting problems that they're working on during the school year throughout the school year. They're going to continually see those same problems and revisit them every so often. So they're not just learning about it and then forgetting about it and it's gone by the testing date. They're continually seeing those problems. It's a great program. And again, it's free for the school year for our teachers to try out with their students. And they've been using that. We've done some training with our teachers. The second one, training is coming up later this week. So that's at our middle school.
Have you had any feedback on that?
We have, Michael, if you wanted to jump into that. We've seen a lot of usage in it, but go ahead, if you wanted to add.
The teachers were really impressed early on with the rigor of the questions and how well they aligned with like PSSA type assessment questions. So I know most have started rolling it out into their classrooms already. Some started before we even had our first training. They were that impressed with what they saw. So, I think time will tell. A lot of, just like anything, there's some novelty early on with how new something is, but so far so good. And this is correct, we have our second training on Thursday. So still a lot to learn for us.
Yep. And then the last three there, those are some books that we're going to be utilizing in the One Book, One School book selections for grade 3, Save Me a Seat, and Front Desk for grades 4 and 5. And a Scholastic's Phonics Library as well for Kelly on the list.
Thank you. All right, our next item. Delbert, yeah, I'm just trying to get attention.
Yes.
This is on you for the Kelly wheelchair lift.
Yeah, actually, we brought to you this evening for your information, the proposal from the Gordian Group through the pre-bid through the KPN process. The work will be done by IB Able, the electrical firm locally. And right now, this is the second repair replacement of a wheelchair lift. As you recall, last year we worked on the middle school wheelchair lift. And so now it's a turn for Kelly. There is some more work to do with this one. At the middle school, it was just a straight replacement. At Kelly, there has to be some actual modifications to the walls surrounding it in order to maintain ADA compliance. So not only will we be replacing the wheelchair lift, we'll also be making modifications to the location of the wheelchair lift to maintain ADA compliance.
All right, thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
So is the one that's currently there right now not working
It
at
is
all?
not operable.
Okay, and how old is that one, would you guess?
It does function.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We were able to take the parts from the middle school.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
And get it working so it would last.
Right, for this year's,
For this
okay.
year.
Yes,
But
I apologize. Yes, it
yeah,
is running.
we can't get, that's why we had to take the parts out of the one.
Because you can't get parts
It's
for it.
approximately 30 years old, I believe.
Okay.
Yep.
So just for everyone's awareness, the information items will become voting items. So if you have questions or you want more information before being able to feel like you have enough to be ready to vote, you can direct those typically to John. Okay, next item. Do you want to give a superintendent's report?
I want to give no formal report this evening, but I'll use my moment just to extend holiday wishes to everyone. I hope you'll all have the time and the opportunity to enjoy the next several weeks in our holiday season. The concerts begin tomorrow evening, so if you check your school calendars between winter concerts and winter sports events, there'll be lots of things over the next several weeks. Come out and enjoy as you're able. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Is there anything you want to highlight from the CSIU or from the alumni meeting?
I made it to my first alumni meeting because we didn't have a board meeting. And everybody was very welcoming. Talked about bingo coming up, talked about actually whether they're going to go ahead and finish off their Dragon's Den contribution, and had some questions about that, which I've talked to Dr. Jablonski about, and I'm going to circle back to them. But it was a great meeting. And the IU, you have your report in front of you. still doing all the amazing things.
Thanks. All right, the next item is the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Kraus,
Second.
second by Ms. Haynos. Any discussion? Paula?
Mrs. Kraus?
Yes.
Ms. Lyons?
Yes.
Dr. Mattis?
Yes.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Fetzer?
Yes.
Dr. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Haynos?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Dr. Jablonski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, so we're down to director's comments, although something's happened here because we were doing citizens' comments to the board on non-agenda items before director's comments. Weren't we doing that previously? I just noticed that switch. It's okay. We'll pick it up next time. Any director's comments? We'll start down with you, Jamie.
Just welcome for those new to the board. Also, I mean, the sports stuff is just fantastic. I think the cross-country season was amazing, and following that was just so awesome. And to see the students put so much work into through the whole season, but then also to just go so much above and beyond what really was expected, I just think is amazing. And you can just tell whenever any of the coaches are in here and they're talking about the students, just how supportive they are and how dedicated they are to the sports. And I just think that is fantastic. And no, all the great Christmas concerts or holiday concerts coming up will be fun. It's like the Iditarod before the holidays. So yeah, nope, that's all I got.
I'll just say it was a great first meeting to meet some students and see the great accomplishments that they've made over the course of the fall. And happy to be here, looking forward to getting to work. So, thanks.
Well, we're glad you're here, and we're glad you're here too, Dr. Grant. I too love seeing the athletes. I want to point out that their assistant coach, who spoke so eloquently, is a Lewisburg alumna, Haley Stanko, class of 15, who has been such a great positive influence on that team. Not that their coach hasn't. I just happen to know Haley. And I know it's been a great experience for the team and for her. And I love seeing it when that happens. We have a few coaches that are alums who come back and who are coaching our teams. And that says a lot about the ethos. And I just, it's a great thing to see.
Thank you.
Welcome to the new board members. Happy to have everyone here. I also would like to give a shout out to the amazing coaches. Both Coach Espinoza and Coach Hess just set such a fantastic example for the athletes and for the community, honestly. It's just such a positive, welcoming sport. And I know my son and maybe my daughter also dabbled in cross country. It's an infectious, fun type of scene. And I'm grateful for what they do.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was lovely to hear the testimony of them. My husband also did cross country. It's that lovely spirit that goes with that sport. Yeah, it's lovely to be here, and I'm just glad to get to work with everyone and look forward to the coming years.
Jordan?
Ditto to everything that's been said. It was awesome to hear just the students. Obviously coaches are great to hear, but I love hearing the students, hearing what they say and their perspectives. To get up in front of a room full of adults is typically not the easiest at their age. So I thought they all did very, very well tonight, and it was great to hear just some of their experiences. One other quick thing I'll just say, my nomination for Corey tonight was just a nomination to have our board leadership do a little bit better. There's been some things over the past year that I look to hopefully improve over the next year. Dr. Jablonski, thank you for serving as president. I know this was your first year, and I think there were a lot of things that went well. There are also some things that that I think we can do better on. Over the past year, out of 20 board meetings, sorry, forgive my raspy voice tonight. Out of 20 board meetings, there were 15 that you attended in person. That's a 75% attendance. I would personally be worried if a student was attending school 75% of the time. So again, I hope that with the meetings that we approved tonight, I hope that we'll see a little bit more attendance. I also hope that some of the voice complaints that I've had just with bringing big projects, different voting items as new business, that we'll hopefully get back to the pattern of bringing them as board information. And then a second time, that gives our community a lot more chance to look over these items and come back, voice any concerns that they have. I think it's just a very transparent process. And over the past year, I've voiced some concerns about that. Not to be a thorn in the side, but I want to be the most transparent board that we can. So hopefully you can make it to the SunTech Award ceremony this May. Make sure that you get that date as well. So that was the reason for my nomination this evening. But again, I do look forward to working with you again. Corey, congratulations again on VP. Ashley, welcome, and Justin, welcome. It's a pleasure to get to know you guys at both the primary polling day and also election day. I think I interacted with both of you guys, so I don't always sound like this, getting over sinus infection, but welcome to everyone. And again, congratulations, Corey and Aaron, both for the re-election as well.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome. I won't repeat everything, but welcome to our two new members. We are happy to have you. A couple things that just, it seems like have kind of snuck up since our last meeting that I just wanted to point out over Thanksgiving. Our marching band went and participated in the first Veterans Day parade, and I thought my kids loved watching it online. And I think one thing that I guess just because I have an 8th grader this year, and so I'm more aware of it, but the fact that our marching band allows 8th grade students to participate and even go on amazing trips like that, I don't think that's the status quo, that middle school students are allowed to participate. And I think that is fantastic that we're doing that. Green Dragon Foundation, thank you for your multiple donations that you've made again tonight. And Aaron and Corey, thank you both so much for being willing to be our president and vice president again, and for always being a really excellent role model of leaders in our community.
Thank you. Corey?
It was nice to see the students tonight, the athletes that have excelled. Those are always fun nights to get to watch and listen. And I also was impressed at how well their remarks were prepared and how seemingly easily they presented them, even though we all know that isn't true. Justin, welcome. Ashley, welcome. And other than that, thank you for the chance to be your VP again for another year. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Do you want to add anything? Okay. I also really enjoyed seeing the students this evening. I am very thankful to have been selected as president again. And in the interest of transparency, yes, I did miss 2 meetings and attended 3 via Zoom last year. And in the coming year, since we have our calendars in front of us, I will be attending via Zoom on January 11th and February 8th. And on June 27th, I will be in Italy with my family for a trip that's been planned for 2 years. So I will officially miss that meeting, but I will attend the others via Zoom. So I am very much in favor of continuous improvement, and I'm happy to hear that there are, people who are all interested in that. I think we have a very good structure now for introducing things in the month before we will vote on them, and we will continue with that practice. We had a few items last year that were more timely, and so at the request of administration, we had moved a few things up, but we will try to do as often and as much as possible those information items well in advance of the actual vote and give people opportunity to ask questions. That is the most important thing you can do, whether it's just when you have the agenda, don't wait. If you have a question, it's great to send an email to our administrators in advance so we can get that information for you before we need to vote on it. And Corey, I'm going to thank you again. And Kathy, I want to thank you again. And welcome Justin and Ashley. And with that, do we have any citizens' comments to the board on non-agenda items?
No one was online.
All right, thank you. And,
Here.
oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I just want to say something as a mom. This is kind of cool. Talking about graduation, since I've had one graduate from here and from Bucknell, I think there's pros and cons to both. I would just ask that some of the things that the kids that graduated here got to experience more as a class, if that could be initiated, whether it's the senior walk or when they do their. No. There's a couple things that they didn't get to do last year, like throwing their caps on the L, which is such a cool picture. So just like with a tiny bit of pre-planning, I think that could happen pretty easily, really, like the day of the senior walk or something. It might not be quite
There are
as-
pros and cons of that, and I'd be more than happy to talk
Yeah,
with you
but
about
like
it.
little things like that, and then I think also there is, and well, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but they aren't supposed to throw their caps at Bucknell.
Throwing caps, that has always been a Lewisburg standing tradition. It's not been, we've never done it in our ceremony, like in the
I just had a
thing.
lot of people ask me,
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
why would they weren't doing it, and I was like, I don't know that answer.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway,
that.
just some of those things like that as a class that people have said that it's harder to do some of the photo stuff at Bucknell because there's not a good place to do it, and then it's really dark when they come out. So just some thoughts about that. Not that it wouldn't be necessarily the same here, but it was a Saturday that we did it here, which was also very nice rather than usually a Tuesday now at Bucknell. So that's another thing to think about. Maybe not for this year, but going forward. Just some things to think about for also family that travel very far because all my family is far away, that no one could really come because it's on a Tuesday. So just some things to think about. And also I don't know how many board members know this, and Chris Long can probably correct again some of my things, but we have a swim team that doesn't really have a place to swim. This is kind of a problem. Bucknell has always been our home pool. And when my oldest daughter swam, they pretty much had 4 nights a week that they could go swim. And they had one night that was a no swim option, and they did dry lands. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we're swimming at Susquehanna a couple times. And we have Chris Long's words at the swim meeting was, we have very few opportunities to be in the pool before their first meet. Well, before New Year's, actually. So to me, that's a problem. It's more of a community problem than anything that we don't have a pool. There's a lot of things that I'd be more than willing to for Aurora to do, not because of high school, but just swimming in general, and it's something that we really need to look at if we're going to try to continue to have a swim team. Because right now our swim team is mostly supported by club teams, which it has been in the past also. But again, when my daughter swam, there were almost 40 kids on the team. We have 15 this year. That's a problem. So some of that can be attributed to lots of other things, but I just think the board should be aware of that. That Bucknell is definitely not being super cooperative with us. Again, I don't know where that problem started or where that problem infused, but it definitely needs to be looked at. And thank you to Susquehanna for opening up to us at least a little bit, because I know that they were not super generous with the club team. And my son drives to Danville every night to swim. So it really is a problem. Thank you. Oh, welcome Ashley and Justin here for you.
All right. If there are no other citizens' comments to the board on non-agenda items, I'll take a motion to adjourn. So moved by Ms. Lyons. Second by Ms. Hanos. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. We are adjourned and headed to